Here it is, Epstein-Barr virus. So medical medium Anthony William shares the Epstein-Barr virus has created a secret epidemic and responsible for mystery illnesses of every category and still thriving because there are over 60 varieties and we only can test for one version right now. And that's when his work came out. We might be able to test for more now. So if you don't know about Anthony William, Google him online. He has helped people all over the world, hundreds and thousands of people that had been diagnosed that they were going to pass, and he's helped them take back their health with food. So for me, that's pretty profound. And he offers a lot of case studies with his work as well. And so he has a number of case studies in relationship to this. So what he shares is there's 4 stages. So we've got stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. Stage 1 is typically like this little virus is dormant, but you can find it in your bloodstream in stage 1 and stage 2. And they're laying dormant. They're in your blood. You can get it from saliva. You can get it from blood. You can get it from, and it has to be in a contagious phase. And I won't go into the details around that. But it's lying dormant and it's multiplying through its numbers, and it's waiting for us to go through a crisis. And that's going to be its opportunity to move into stage 2. So the perfect storm for this is going to be, you're going to have a deficiency in nutrients already, and you're going to have stress-related hormones because of the crisis. And hormones is what this virus feeds on. So, for example, you're in high school and you get mononucleosis, right? So common. I mean, how many of us had friends get mononucleosis? It was so common, right? The kissing disease. So you can there's a good chance that so mononucleosis shows up in stage 2, right? So if you're in stage 1 and you have the virus, you could live for weeks, months, or even decades before it makes an appearance in your body. And it may never. If you're really good at managing your stress and managing your sleep, you might never have a problem with it, which is fantastic, right? But you need to know it feeds on stress hormones, and it starts with a deficiency in nutrients, right? And we can control that now. So stage 2 is when it makes its appearance, and that's usually as mononucleosis, which I think is just fascinating, because I'll tell you, most people that I've talked to that have had a thyroid issue have had mononucleosis. So I don't think it's a coincidence. So they wait for this opportunity to strike, right? Mononucleosis, you are fatigued, you are in bed, you can't do anything. So it takes this opportunity to root down into your organs, your liver, your spleen, and it feeds on toxins, particularly mercury, and these are stored where? In our liver, right? Mercury and dioxins. So that's where it goes. Stage 3 is, its ultimate goal is to get to your nervous system. It's kind of crazy. Now, so it's stage 3, it's moving into your endocrine system. So it moves from your liver, from your spleen, or wherever organs it's in, and it makes its way to your thyroid. So it's no longer, this is the problem, it's no longer detectable by medical testing in the bloodstream in stage 3. Right? Creates inflammation in the organs, the liver, the spleen, and then later the thyroid. So we get sluggish liver. We start getting bloated, constipated. We start getting food sensitivities that we didn't used to have. And it waits for you are in a car accident, or you lose a loved one, or you have a pregnancy. So it doesn't have to be bad stress. It's just stress. It can be good stress, bad stress. And it waits for these stress-related hormones to kick in, and then that's what's going to help it multiply and grow and move its way into the next level, which will be the nervous system. So lupus is another one of those that's been kind of thrown into that category of mystery diseases. So what he shares is that when it moves into the thyroid gland, that's when we see hypothyroidism, Hashimoto's. And so that's what I want to share with you. Stage 4, it's moving into the nervous system. Now, in everybody, it's going to move at a different stage. It's going to be at a different stage. You know, someone may go until they're 40 years old, they have their first baby, and then all of a sudden they have their baby and they have chronic fatigue and they can't get out of bed and they can't figure out what's going on. And so that's the culprit behind that particular situation, because that pregnancy releases so many hormones that it just starts feeding on it. So the nervous system is its target, right? When I think about this, I always think about, I got attacked by bees last summer, and I was leaning down and I was scooting my dog's poop off the trail. And I had my head down and I was like this, and all of a sudden these yellow jackets came up and they attack. They are so brilliant. They go for your eyes. They attack your eyes to take you out. And when I learned that, because I got home and I had like 18 bites all over my face and nowhere else. And I was like, why are they all over my face? And that's how brilliant these beings are. I mean, we were all created, right, by a very intelligent force. And just so whenever I think about this virus moving through the body like this, very smart and brilliant, I'm like, I think of these bees that tried to take out my eyes and my sight so I couldn't find their nest and take out their queen bee. So little story of where I'm at when I tap into this. So again, so it moves. So it's in your thyroid, you're tired, you're fatigued, and you're like, and then you have another crisis, right? And maybe you've started eating clean, but it's not clean enough, right? I mean, a lot of us are like, well, I do this and this and this, but I'm not really good with my sleep. Or I'm not, I'm not really good with my stress. I get out the door, my stress is at a 7 already. So it's like wherever you're not managing things, whether it's nutrients, your gut, or your stress, or your sleep, or yourself, like, are you spending time with people that lift you up? Do you have a good support system, right? Depression and sadness can trigger it too. So you have some sort of physical or emotional injury, and these symptoms, as you progress, they get bigger. They have a bigger appearance. They have a bigger impact. We're talking about heart palpitations, generalized aches and pains, nerve pain. And, the most common thing is like your inability to recover from like a simple surgery, right? Or an accident. Tingling and numbness in the hands and feet, migraines, night sweats, disturbed sleep, migraines, fatigue. Okay, when we talk about that, like I'm thinking perimenopause, menopause, right? How many times have we heard like at least 4 or 5 of those, right? I mean, I was 35 and I was having night sweats, disturbed sleep, dizziness, fatigue, and I was freezing. So, some people may be diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, perimenopause, or menopause from showing these symptoms. So I just think it's interesting, right? It's just interesting. And I had to share it with y'all, not just with my clients, but with everyone, because it's so blown my mind the more I dive into this work.